Now that you've committed to making the move to software engineering manager, find a mentor. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Imagine how much you could learn in just a few months of regular, intense mentorship from a seasoned manager that would otherwise take you years to learn on your own. You might not yet feel comfortable running your team, but I'm going to help you figure out how to start going through the motions so that you can fall into the role seamlessly and learn as you go. This is the second video in a series on making the leap from individual contributor to manager. Unfortunately, when I became a manager, I didn't understand the importance of mentorship. My perception of management was largely that of project and product management. I saw my purpose as getting the team to execute and making sure that we shipped at a time box interval, even if I had to do it myself. This approach got me pretty far as a line manager, but it didn't make me an exceptional one. Since you've committed to being a manager, try to find someone whose management style you admire and simply ask them if they can help. This could be your boss or another person at the company. Explain to them what you like about what they do and set up a regular meeting. Try to keep your consultation with them on this schedule and don't reach out to them too much ad hoc unless it's urgent. Train yourself to figure things out on your own, but utilize their experience for support. I didn't actively seek a mentor, and it wasn't out of pride. I didn't understand the complexity or gamut of what I was getting into. I didn't fully recognize management as a skill set in the way that I thought about technical skills as a skill set. I knew that I needed to have good relationships with my team, and made a lot of effort to do that. And I knew that I needed to ship code, but I didn't realize the rigid structure necessary to operate as efficiently and effectively as possible. And I didn't have a great understanding of how to prioritize the litany of interruptions, personnel incidents, and meetings that can crop up as a manager. When you meet with your mentor, ask them if there's a specific thing that they think you should focus on before your next meeting. Then do it, even if you don't understand why or you think you already know how to handle the subject they're presenting you with. When I first became a manager, my delegation skills were weak. I spent too much time writing code and solving ugly problems myself because I didn't want to drop these on the team. I had no idea how to conduct one-on-ones and was fiercely intimidated by the prospect of having a career conversation with someone when we had been peers only a minute before. I had the potential to do these things well and gradually figured it out over time, but for you, progress can be much quicker if you stand on the shoulders of giants. In my experience, people often express a desire for mentorship, but they don't realize that they need to present themselves as a good mentee. They focus on asking their mentor what they think they need to learn, rather than allowing their mentor to expose what they see and then absorbing that. Forget about what you think you already know and open your ears. You may not fully appreciate what your mentor suggests at first, and the first things that come out of their mouth may sound remedial. But since you chose them as a mentor for a reason, follow their advice and pay attention to what happens. In the meantime, you'll need to build trust with your team. This will take time, so you want to start this process as soon as possible. You can accelerate it by being honest and sincere. You'll need to walk a fine line between demonstrating confidence and expressing vulnerability. Try to make a connection with everyone on the team. Even if you think you know your team members, start with taking some time to get to know them. Establish weekly one-on-ones with everyone immediately. Treat the first meeting with each person as a first introduction, and use that opportunity to find out what motivates them. Why do they get out of bed in the morning? Start thinking about how it relates to what you're doing as a team. I keep shared one-on-one notes with each person, but I also have my own private crib sheet about them. I save notes about things that they choose to share, maybe about their background, how they got to where they are now, especially any unconventional path that they may have taken in their career. I find it to be a useful tool when thinking about how people fit on the team, what their aspirations are, and what they want to learn next. I use it to assist with career development and understand why they might make some of the decisions that they do, among other things. Anything you can collect can be used to help you understand how they fit into the team. And that's the crux of it. You're building and running a team, not working with a bunch of individuals. Everyone plays a position, and it's your job to find the holes, the redundancies, and put people in the roles where the entire team will perform at its best. Start learning what the strengths and weaknesses of your team are as soon as possible. Do they have any concerns that may not have been expressed before? Collect these things into a list and try to make some quick wins in your first few weeks on the job. After your first round of one-on-ones, sync up with your mentor and your manager. Review any moves that you've made, and if anything really hairy comes up, get some perspective on how to handle it. By now, you're collecting a ton of information and probably trying to figure out how to weave it into the list of things you already wanted to accomplish when you agreed to take on this team. So you need to have a system. This becomes personal, so I'm not going to outline a specific system, but you need to have a way to manage and prioritize daily the myriad tasks that are accumulating. One output of your system should be a daily list of things that you can actually accomplish. This will help keep you from falling into a manager malaise, where you're busy all day but you're not sure what you actually accomplished. It will help ensure that you're moving forward on the important and not only responding to the urgent. A key difference between being an individual contributor and a manager is that you can no longer consistently set aside large blocks of time to work on something, unless it's in the middle of the night. So you need to make sure that you're making progress on longer-term projects daily, and not only focusing on tasks that can be completed within a day. This is a good topic to discuss with your mentor. What is their system? What techniques do you need to learn that are unique to your company? Next, schedule a weekly retrospective with your entire team. If I could only have one meeting with my collective team, this would be it. It can be a place where the most valuable information manifests itself, because people have the support of each other in discourse. It's also the spot where you can encourage assertiveness on the team. People who may not normally feel like they have a voice on the team can be encouraged to express themselves in this environment. Run your retrospective in such a way that you wind up with a list of actionable items. During the meeting, get someone to own each item to enforce accountability and make some kind of progress on at least some of these items within a week. This builds trust, and it can also encourage active decision-making. People need to see that progress isn't blocked by indecisiveness and that you're doing the things that you say you're going to do. Once you have the communication flow established with your team, it's a good idea to check in with your boss. At this point, if you only do one thing, ask what you can do to help your manager be successful. There's a ton that I haven't covered yet, but the key at this stage is to open your ears, listen to your team, listen to your mentor, and listen to your own manager. If you do this, you're already pursuing 4 of the 5 characteristics of a great manager: accountability, assertiveness, decision-making, and building relationships. This is a right foundation for following through with execution. So far, we've covered the necessity of committing to being a manager and seeking mentorship. In the next video, we'll dig into how you can start developing your own philosophies on management. You probably have a lot of ideas in your head about what you'd like to do, but going about this deliberately can really help you be the kind of manager that you would want to work for. So please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when the next installment in this series comes out. I'm Simon Peck. I manage people and build software engineering teams. I'll see you soon.